Alright, what's up people? This is SiTHFuRion. Right now we are here. Series 4, Episode 1. I am so pumped to get back into this show, man. Even though it's only been like maybe almost like 2 weeks since, well, actually longer than 2 weeks since I filmed the finale. I know many of you have been waiting a long time to get to this point. Oh, so excited, man. We all know where we stand right now with the storyline and everything, so I'm not going to do like a massive recap, but we all know that Edward is now king, Alfred is dead. Edward is kind of surrounded by people he can't trust. Athelwald is now dead. Thankfully, you know, Ragnar's soul was gone to Valhalla, everything's all good. But Edward is still surrounded by snakes, basically. There's Athel Dickhead, who's still alive, still in Mercia, and he's got his own agenda to try and overthrow Edward at some point and stuff. And then there's also Edward's new father-in-law, who I don't like, I don't trust at all, and Edward's own mother. Edward's own mother is going to be there whispering in his ear what to do. Don't trust the Danes, don't trust Uhtred, this, that, and I don't know, man. Or maybe Edward's new father-in-law, whatever his name is, I will cluck onto his name, might end up becoming more of like a dominant voice, you know, for him to listen to. Or maybe there's even like more players, like more characters will come up and get introduced. Of course, it's a new season, so there's going to be more characters. So, of course, Edward is going to be surrounded by people he can't trust, and like always, the only one that he can truly trust, the only voice he should be listening to, is going to be Uhtred. You know what I mean? But like I said at the end of like the last video, I hope they don't do the same thing of having Uhtred and the king at odds. No, we don't need to have like a replay of history. You know what I mean? We don't need the same song playing again. You know, as far as like the Danes, Heston and Knut and Breeder, they're still alive, they're still out there, so technically they're still going to be a threat. I think maybe like Knut or Heston will head back home and then come back with more forces, or maybe word will get back that they've failed and that they've lost battles, and someone will come along and take over the army, like someone new, or just more forces, or something just to, you know, or something just to kind of give the Danes a bit more weight on them, because they've lost now pretty badly, you know. So I can see them coming back for revenge. But the way that like the last episode ended was basically Uhtred kind of setting his sights on Bebeba, you know. So hopefully that's where he's going to be going. We need to kind of bring his uncle back into the show. Yeah, I'm just so pumped, man. I'm so pumped for like more story, more characters. Like, let's go, man. But yeah, no more rambling. We're going to get into this. Episode 1, Series 4. Let's do this, man.
Bastard Scots! Kill them! Slay them all! Don't spare a single one!
Was he at war with the Scottish? Or are the Scots coming down and attacking?
Open the gates!
There was enough time then that they all could have got in. What the fuck?
Where do we bury the dead?
Leave them for the scavengers.
Just gonna leave your own men out there, like.
I will never surrender to invaders. My men can be destroyed. The village is starved. They can dig a trench and pass it in. These walls will not be breached. This fortress will not fall. I will never yield my birthright.
Oh shit. Okay. They're actually there.
It's time we're heading south, Asford.
We fight on for Bebember! For Bebember!
Wow. It's a big fuck though, like he's standing there trying to rally his troops back up, and his troops are standing there like, well, what about Bob? Bob's left outside, man. He was my friend. Like, he's gonna leave his body out there? Like, what the fuck, man? But if Finnan's there, like Uhtred ain't too far behind. Hell yeah, man. What? Okay, so we're moving that love story a bit forward a bit quick, okay? Well, if they're together now, it means that Uhtred's going to get more and more pissed off with Athel Dickhead. You know, in the way that he treats her, like...
It is Altel. Lady Ethelflaed's absence has been noted by her husband. She should leave here before she is discovered.
And at least he's staying loyal to her, like, oh, that's okay. Okay. I thought he had feelings for her, though.
Lady, you know I do not speak in envy, but please. Your husband would take great pleasure in punishing you for adultery should you give him the excuse.
He takes great pleasure in punishing me for whatever I do. Besides, I have good men to protect me. And I know you do not speak from envy.
Okay. Quick little, like, okay, well, you had feelings for me, but hopefully that's not going to be cause for him to betray her. And, well, turn on Uhtred at some point.
Want to give up your gods for your life? Do you want me to show you mercy? No!
No. Mercy is for Christians. What will you do? Good boy. If they capture you, you do exactly this.
Hey, careful, kid. It means they like you.
They're good boys, Knut.
Yeah.
You're blessed.
Come.
He's kids. Okay. Like, his kids are coming to the show now. There was that quick, like, reference to Uhtred and his son in the recap. Maybe...
To the settlement until the winter. We must hide you away while the men go to war. Go.
Maybe that might be a thing kind of going into this season, like legacy. Well, it's been more or less like the show with Alfred passing the kingdom on to Edward, like, but like legacy of children, like now Uhtred's son and Knut's children, like.
You are the man they call the Arslicker.
Murdwolf of Mercia, commander of King Ethelred's guard.
Oh, his latest new commander. I heard you wormed your way back from a family disgrace, and that your father lost his lands for humping his horse.
I heard there was a Dane who was willing to betray his kinsfolk for money.
What?
You sound like the Danes to slink away. Where's Canute taking his men?
Ireland.
Will they come back?
Women are going to local settlements, so there will be warm tits to return to.
Why do you tell us this?
Because, unlike you, I'm not rewarded for my service.
You should have licked more asses.
Perhaps. I no longer want war. I'm too old to sleep in the dirt. I want silver. And Lord Ethelred has it. Makes his own coin. How ambitious.
See, I wonder if that coin is actually like a proper replica of a coin at that time period from, you know.
Women of Google! We are back!
He lost half his men in the most recent assault.
So Bevanbur's weakened?
For now, yes.
Until he finds more men. Or is slaughtered by the Scots? So we could take it.
Perhaps. It'll not be easy.
How many men does he have?
Barely 40.
Can you raise the fjord?
Oh, God, no. Local lords think he's a...
That is a yes. And they're right. We should not delay.
Go before he buys more men.
We head to Bourbonburg before the Scots return.
Oh, shit.
We'll take back what is mine.
Now, Lord, it'll take ships and men. The venture could cost you all your silver.
Finnan, if we take Bourbonburg, we will have all the silver we ever dreamed of.
Edward.
How many men remain here?
Not enough. We will ride to Winchester and raise an army. It's time for Wessex to repay all that I've given.
It is all for our own protection.
Mother, I'm so sorry.
Please, do not pity me. I have a better life than many widows. And my new rooms are comfortable, if rather near the kitchens.
There were shots of her like holding a baby. Could she be pregnant?
We ignore this news until the scouts confirm it. Continue to fortify along the border. When the Danes break the peace, we will be ready.
I will inform the whores. Quicker than the monks at spreading news.
We are resolved. Every man who can wield an axe should be building defenses. Mother.
What news do you talk of? Perhaps I could offer the wisdom of experience.
Take comfort that all is well. Come.
What? So she's not a part of like the main circle? Like, okay. As Edward kind of like took charge a bit more and...
It is you that I want.
And it is me you shall have. When the time is right.
Come on, do not make me force you, Edith. You set a man on fire, do not be surprised when you get burnt.
What kind of a line is that?
They're dismantling their camp and packing their boats. A cousin is under attack in Difflin.
If they're leaving East Anglia, then it's empty and ready for us to conquer it. And if I enlarge our land, then Mercia no longer has to bow to Wessex and Edward.
Troops can be ready when you want them, though I would suggest that we leave quietly.
Yes, this is an excellent plan. It appears the relics of St. Oswald are already working in my favor.
I'm sure they'll be impressed.
It's my gift to the common folk. Monks are leaving imminently with silver to bargain for his heart. And the winds are clearly blowing in our favor. Thank you for all that you've done. It's impressive.
Anything I do for Mercia.
Indeed. You could teach your sister a lesson in generosity.
What was the deal with all the looks, like, when he weren't looking, like... Even with the maid, like, the maid had, like, a look about her.
Just hump the desperate bastard.
I hump him and he loses interest. If we want all this to continue, then we must not overplay our hand. You hump him then, if you do not believe me.
I tried. He did not bite.
As soon as I saw her, like, she reminded me of, what was her name in Game of Thrones? The whore in season 1. I can't think of her name, but...
Word will spread that you leave for Ireland.
And he believed you?
He wants to kiss his master's backside. He believes what he wants to hear.
Okay.
Then we shall attack Mercia while their backs are turned.
I was wondering, like, there's no way he's, like, betraying his own now, like...
Wico Ethelred, Wessex is honor bound to come to Mercia's aid. Will you out Edward from behind his walls and fight on our terms? Take the country, as so many others have failed to do.
See, I said there's still going to be a threat, isn't there? Obviously.
I treated her with respect and gave her love.
After you slaughter the man she cared for. I pity the bitch.
Do not give me a reason to kill you. My friend?
Looks like he genuinely cares for Breda now, okay.
Ealfred will finally see a reckoning.
Yeah. Never has a man deserved it more.
He's now weakened and without allies.
Has he no heir to assist him?
He did, a son. But the heir, Witger, was banished. He died last summer in the Southern Sea.
They can starve him out. Surround the fortress. What was your plan?
I want to make a home for my children to return to.
Are they well? Your children?
Stura thrives. She lives at Ethelflaed's estate.
Okay.
My son I do not see. Alfred's influence has made him holy. What news of Wessex?
Wessex thrives.
Edward's son is now walking.
King's wife is to be crowned a queen.
It is unusual to honor the girl whilst the widow Aylesworth lives, to say the least. But Aelfled has an ambitious father.
Yes, Lord Athelhelm is ambitious.
Yep. Okay. So we've had a bit of a time jump. Because there was reference to Edward's child is now walking. Because they can't be talking about his first children that he had with that other woman.
If the bastard Scots are making incursions, they will return in number. He takes the fortress, it becomes your foothold in Northumbria.
I take Northumbria and I unite the 4 kingdoms.
Small matter of conquering East Anglia, but that is mainly cattle and people that look like cattle.
Your father knew it could be done. One country, one king.
Yep.
Since when have you cared for my father's vision, Uhtred?
Since it coincided with what he wants, by the sound of it.
It works for the both of us. Give me 100 men, it will take a week. 200? I can take it in a day.
It will certainly fulfill an ambition. But given the ongoing threat from the Danes here in the south, is it wise to distract ourselves? There is no debt on either side.
No debt?
Lord Uhtred is free to take what he wants. You to defend what you have, which is the innocent people of Wessex from the marauding heathen.
By cowering behind walls and waiting for the Danes to attack?
No, by not being forced to fight before we are certain to win.
There are good reasons to go softly and strategically.
Yes, that is how you got where you are, Lord Ethelhelm. Lord, take this moment your God is offering you. Your father had a dream.
And my father also knew when to say no to Uhtred Ragnarsson.
Come on.
I'm no longer the boy who can be bent to your will. This is not saying never, but now is not the time.
Look at the smirk on his face. He's not willing to listen to Uhtred, but he's willing to listen to this dude. Like, what the fuck?
Lady Ethelflaed will meet you in the garden. Do not turn me into a brothel keeper.
Oh, but you enjoy the savage life. Do your novices not know that?
My woman's Sabble is at my husband's estate, and she has learned something that will be very useful to you.
Oh, okay. I said even the maid, everyone had like a look about him.
All that remains to be gathered is the heart of St. Oswald, which your uncle...
Of course, Selfridge keeps it in Bebbanburg.
Lord Ethelred has sent a pair of monks up north to try and strike a bargain for it.
Do you know when?
They should reach Grimswood by Sunday, and Bebbanburg on the day of Ascension.
When is Ascension?
10 days before Pentecost. 2 weeks from now.
Intercept these brothers and you could gain entry into the fortress.
Yep, there you go. That's the way in.
You owe me nothing, Uhtred. Anything I ever did for you, I did for my own heart. May the Lord bless you and keep you in this adventure.
Thank you, Father.
Oh.
Goodbye, pure and holy abbess.
Goodbye, you bloodthirsty heathen.
Keep each
See-
other out of trouble.
Could they really be like saying their goodbyes just because them two are going to be like less relevant this season? Because of all the new characters and maybe. Because she took a bit of a backseat last season. You know what I mean? Like she popped up ever so often just to add like a bit of extra dialogue. But as far as main storyline, like she took a real backseat. So maybe the both of them this season will take more of a backseat. Shit. Who the fuck? Like, only person I can, well, only people I can think of would have been fucking Athel Dickhead. Because they were heading that way.
Look how he worms his way in with the King's Guard. I do not trust him. In the past, he has suggested to me things that are most unchristian in regards to the other heirs of the throne.
You mean the firstborn you had banished so your son could make a better marriage?
Yep.
First marriage was legitimate.
There are priests who would swear in the book to it.
Lady, you chose Lord Ethelhelm's daughter as a match because he had silver that Wessex needed. You chose her over a woman your son loved and who had borne him children. You cannot invite a serpent into the garden and be surprised when it slithers on the ground.
Did I not have you removed from the court, Father Baelka?
Yes. Another one of your rash judgments.
It is unwise to remain somewhere you are not wanted.
And yet you choose to stay here too.
Oh.
Perhaps we're not so different.
Bioka taking shots. But it's all like he's speaking the truth.
This bitterness is not her. Her role is diminished and she's veiled in grief.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, it would be kind of cool now if Ellsworth is starting to realise that she's made mistakes.
Seize the land to the north until you reach the sea.
And then we will see which Saxon kingdom is the greatest.
So the big man has raided a camp of women and children. Yeah, great fucking badass here, eh? Like fucking twat.
Hello, Father.
Men?
I was thinking that.
Impressive beast.
I did not realize how much you had grown.
To seize back what was lost and unite our family. I'm taking you to Bourbonbar.
Never heard of it.
See, I had a feeling just like his son was going to come up. Didn't think it was going to be the first episode, but okay.
The king grows wiser by the day.
True. He has all the makings of a great leader, I'm sure. But time may be against you. Those around him have ambition, and it is not the ambition of the king or of his father, who we both loved. So you do what you must.
Okay. I was thinking, like, why did it sound like he's saying goodbye? What's he doing? What's his plan?
Do you want Delfridge to know that we're coming?
Suppose not.
Okay. He's actually going to go with them. Okay.
Word reached me of the abduction of a young deacon. So I felt I should,
You came to help me be a better father.
Well, there is that.
And?
That's where he belongs. Hell yeah, man. Wow. Major callback, man. The start, like. Coming for you, man. Gonna end. Yep. Oh my god. And we are back, man. Holy shit. Okay, so it looks like Uhtred is really gunning to get Bourbonbar back. I really like. It's about damn time, man. It really is. It's been 4 seasons. Like, come on. But then at the same time, like I was just saying, now that Uhtred's son is with him and everything, like, I don't want his son to be put in harm's way and then for him to die, only just to be used as a tool of vengeance. Like, Uhtred already has enough. He's got enough drive. He don't need any extra, you know what I mean? But then, like I said, it's like he could be used as just a tool for Uhtred to get more passionate, or gradually throughout the episode, the son could come around and see how great his father is and start following him, and then wanting to prove himself only for him to die in battle or something, you know. I'm just thinking, how could this character, their growth could come into the show, you know what I mean? But then I'm pretty sure I said like the same type of thing about the baby priest. I can't think of his name, but how like he's like kind of fragile and like, I don't want him to go in the battle and to die. Like he's showed himself like a few times now that he can be a pretty capable warrior. So hopefully with this being Uhtred's offspring. Hopefully this kid can, you know, look after himself. He's got that natural instinct. It's just he hasn't been tested yet, you know. But like I said earlier, it's like this episode has been kind of like setting up like legacy. You know, you've got Uhtred and his son now. There was brief talk about Edward, how Edward's son, or I'm sure they said son, is now walking. But then there was also talk about his other kids. Knut has now got 2 kids that was just suddenly popped up out of nowhere. Yeah, it's kind of gone a bit like, not heavy, but it's bringing up a lot about legacy and things carrying on, like we've seen with Alfred passing on his legacy to Edward. Yeah, man. I'm still quite shocked that Athelflaed and Uhtred have, you know, hooked up. And if we've had a bit of a time jump, you know, them two have been at it for a while now. On one hand, I'm really shocked, but then on the other, like, there was that scene last season where they were in that barn or whatever, and Skade was watching. They had like a little moment, and like I said, like, could they hook up at some point? Obviously, they have. But that shot of her talking to her mum and she kept like touching her stomach, I wouldn't be too surprised if she turns out to be pregnant. Just saying. As far as Edward, like he's grown. I'm quite shocked that he's kind of pushed his mum out of that like inner circle. You know, like that could also be like the kind of like trigger for her to maybe realize that she's made mistakes and made a few bad calls, like just certain looks and stuff. Like, yeah, maybe she might feel like she's like made the wrong choice. Especially with was it Athelhelm or Ethelhelm, Edward's new stepfather? Because it looks like he's got a little bit of like a dominance over Edward. You know, even though Edward's grew a bit stronger now, and he doesn't necessarily seem like a weak boy king anymore. He seems like he's a bit more dominant. But at the same time, like when Uhtred came to him for help, like he was saying about how like he's not a boy anymore, just to bend to Uhtred's will or something like that. But yet he just pretty much just did the exact same thing to Athelhelm. You know what I mean? Like just took on everything he said and just, yeah, like, you know, no, it's not the right time. It's like, this is your chance, your opportunity to be one step closer to becoming king of all of England. Like, I don't know, man, but my God, what a good episode. Good episode. They like get back in, like, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up real quick because I want to get in episode 2 next. Like I said, I'm gonna try and binge watch as many episodes as I can today, and then crack on with some editing like later this evening. But yeah, give this video a thumb up if you like it. Comment down below, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already, man. All right. I've been SiTHFuRiON, and I'll catch you in the next one.